Welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. My name is Lüning, Horst Lüning, this is my son Ben, and today we're tasting the Connemara, 12 years of age, an Irish single malt whiskey, one of the very, very few smoky Irish whiskies.
So, 12 years of age.
This is quite old for an Irish one.
Connemara is from the Kool-Aid distillery, right?
Yes.
I've just done a video for you, it was I think a week ago, about the Kool-Aid distillery that we are gonna have a live tasting on the 22nd of July. So in a week, I'm not quite sure how the schedule is. So yeah, there will be a live tasting. Just have a look at whisky.com/live and you will find the Kool-Aid live tasting.
Yeah, and the Kool-Aid distillery has several brands. So this Kilbeggan is very famous, the Tyrconnell, and the Connemara. And with the Connemara is just funny because Connemara is an area in Ireland, on the very west coast, and the Kool-Aid distillery is on the east coast. So they just acquired that name for its whiskey, for attracting tourists. Well, we've been in this wonderful Connemara Park, National Park or State Park, no idea. And the old Kool-Aid distillery was a vodka distillery. They made vodka out of potatoes, not of grain, of potatoes. And then they switched it over to a pharmaceutical plant where they produce pharmaceutical alcohol, very high distilled. And then it was bought by Mr. Teeling, and he converted it into a whiskey distillery. So he was able to use those large column stills for grain whiskey, and he installed 2 pot stills for the pot still whiskey here for this Connemara and for others. And running into that business, he acquired that plant, I think, in 1988 or 1989. And it was the 3rd whiskey distillery in Ireland, working distillery after the big recession in Ireland, where only 2 distilleries were left over in the very south, one in North Ireland. And, well, he opened the 3rd one. And in the meantime, there are a dozen or 2 dozen distilleries again there. And he then bought the old Kilbeggan distillery, which is a little bit in the south of the Kool-Aid distillery, southwest, a little bit from Dublin, half an hour drive to the west, I think. And the Kilbeggan distillery was established in 1757, but it was quiet for a long time. They started production, and they say Kilbeggan Distilling Company here. But I think this whiskey has to be from the Kool-Aid distillery, not from the new pot stills from the Kilbeggan distillery, because I don't think that they are running that long. I think they reopened it in 2011 or 2012. So it's not old enough from that Kilbeggan distillery. This one has to be from the old one. And you said it, you mentioned it earlier, that there is a 22-year-old Connemara available. Here it is.
But it's scarce. Yeah. We don't do the video because
there are too few bottles out
few bottles out there. It used to be out there, and we planned it, and now there are only a few bottles left, so it's not quite...
disappointing customers always
disappointing bad. Customers is really bad. So yeah, from the German channel you can't do it.
Yeah. So to say it again, this is one of the very, very few smoky whiskies from Ireland.
Smoky whiskies from Ireland.
Yeah.
Few, is there still another one? I think there
or
is
it's the only one.
No, I think there's another one, but they're really scarce. They're really scarce.
So this is
so how smoky is it? Do you know?
I don't know the receipt, no. But there is smoke in my nose already, combining with wonderful vanilla and a maltiness. And I had the remembrance of the smoke a lot more intense. So this is not too strong in the nose. I think 25 ppm, 20 ppm, somewhere there. And it's round, well, smooth, and it's only 40% ABV. It's priced well above €50 pound, so a little bit more expensive because there are so few aged whiskies from Ireland on the market. So they are very scarce.
So it's really, really strange because yes, you do have a bit of smokiness. It's not as intense as you might know from any 40 ppm plus whiskies, but it's the rest is pretty mild and that usual what you associate in an Irish whiskey that is easy nosing, easy sipping. So it's a typical Irish one with a distinct phenolic touch and smoky touch.
But it's smoky. It's not that phenolic. It's not that stinky.
It's not that stinky. It's a light smokiness.
Yeah.
I would classify it as like 15, 20, something around there. 20.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So it's gentle and round, and the oak shows a light spiciness, wonderful, smooth and malty, balanced, little fruitiness, and then there's the smokiness, and the smokiness covers my tongue, my mouth. So the smokiness in the aftertaste is really there. It's definitely more detectable than the smell. So in contrast to the normal Connemara without an age statement, so 3 years plus, that is really a stinky one, really hefty smokiness. This one is milder.
Yeah, it's well, now that you swallowed, you do have. Oh, I forgot the cameras. You know, you really do have the smokiness, and you really do feel it's a peat smoked whiskey, and there's a bit of oak in there now on the second sip, but it's. For the most part, it's a normal Irish whiskey, which is gentle sipping, gentle taste, pretty round, pretty mild, pretty easy sipping. With a distinct smoky touch. How much ABV does it have?
40. It's just a normal...
Tastes like a 40.
Yeah, as the Connemara name suggests, is one for the public, for the general
for the tourists.
tasting, for the tourists. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, very, very interesting one. If you'd like to know more about the Kool-Aid Distillery, there's a nice live video coming up on the 26th of July. Have a look at that one. You will go in much, much more further detail at the distillery, and there will be pictures and there will be explanations, and we're gonna have 4 whiskeys with it, so it's gonna be a blast. Even though it's gonna be hot outside, I'm not expecting too many of you coming. So anyway, if you like it, show around, and yeah, thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.